G'day guys, Gordon here with Guardians of Freedom. Long time since I've done a video. People always complain about the background, so hopefully this is a bit nicer. I'm outside in our property. It's a beautiful day, and yeah, I just want to share, well, hopefully not too much sun because that's getting straight in the camera, I think. But just have a think about this one. Pressure on, push, 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 pressure off. Pressure on, pressure off. Okay, that's if you have a good think, that's exactly the strategy that was used during the COVID era. Okay, during the scam-demic. That's a tactic. So it was always lockdowns, and they used the media, and they would generate a lot of pressure, a lot of panic, a lot of fear, where they would basically, turn it on, push, 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 and then off. And everybody's like, yeah, it's all good now, everything's cool, and then on again, okay? And they would do that over and over again, but they're still pushing forward, okay? And that is a military strategy. It's a psychological strategy to tire the opponent down, to wear them out, okay, to make them lose their motivation and their drive, and effectively switch off. Okay, so when you do that over and over again, people will switch off, and they'll either just go along with what you tell them next, which is what majority of people did, or they just switch right off, and it's too much, it becomes too much. Okay, the other goal is to confuse people and make them tired, confused. Now if you look at what's going on now with just about each of the different strings of agenda, I call them different strings because they all tie together into the one agenda, which is ultimately creating the one world government, a control state, right? And there's different strings or different arms, and if you look at them all, so if you look into, for example, inflation, same thing, on, off, everything's okay, everything's off, everything's okay, and then suddenly it's not. Okay, and the same thing, the media is the big trumpet to turn these or press these buttons. And same thing with this Iran situation, Israel-Iran. Okay, so I put a post up the other day talking about World War III, and they're doing the same tactic here, guys. So it's on, okay, and there's full panic, and then it's off, and then it's on, and then it's off, but they're still moving in the same direction. Okay, so suddenly Donald Trump is ceasefire, he saved the day. Daddy Donald Trump has saved the day, so everybody's relaxing. Now, I'm not about panicking, guys, and that's not what I'm trying to encourage everybody. I'm just wanting you guys to see this pattern, or have a if you can recognize a pattern, it can stop you from being engulfed in that emotional roller coaster that they want to take you on. I've been kind of lucky because I was pretty young when I became aware of the New World Order. I was only 20 or so. So I'm 44 now, so that's quite a while that I've spent studying, analyzing, reading, watching videos, thinking. I do a lot of thinking, and I watch patterns. I have a very analytical mind and strategic, forward-thinking mind. So I've started recognizing the patterns and being able to stay a little bit ahead. So that is one of the patterns, guys, or one of the strategies they're using. Okay, and I just want to get people aware of that, and so that you can recognize that. And when I say I don't believe in panic, I don't. I believe in being ready and prepared, and that is actually the main goal of that strategy. They want everybody to give up and lie down. It's too much, and just not be prepared. They want you to be unprepared. They want you to be tired. Okay, and then one day it'll be on. I'll bet anything. Okay, and the reason I say this is, during my, I guess, studies and analysis, World War III is their goal. And I'm sorry to tell you guys that we're not in World War III. I've heard a lot of people say that, no, these times are challenging, but these are still the easy days, guys. That's my opinion. Okay, these are the easy days. And a little bit on Iran, quickly, I guess, while we're on this topic. Iran, when COVID started in 2020, I put a post up as well, March, I think it was, April, somewhere very early, and I said, you wait and see, at the end of the pandemic will come a world war. That was in 2020, March. And that's just from my knowledge and understanding that is where they need to take things to go to their next step. I'll do a full video around that and explain the evidence for that and the need, what their need is to create that, why they need to create that war. Okay, and that's what Iran is about. Now, I'm not talking, I don't take sides anymore. And I think this dualism or this duality that they've trained us to think a certain way, that we're either this or we're that. It's a duality. So you're either for Israel or you're for Iran, but I'm just for the people, for all the people. And you've got to understand, geopolitics is done, unfortunately and very sadly. And in 2020, I was aware of the new Silk Road and all those things, and I had some hopes on Russia, maybe Turkey, that they hadn't succumbed to this. I'll just tell you guys quickly, if you look at every single country, they participated in the COVID scam. Every country except two, which was Tanzania, and the other one's not coming to me, so if somebody knows that one, throw a comment. But both those presidents are dead, assassinated, killed. Okay, now Iran ran all the COVID scam, testing, taking people's DNA through testing, tracing, apps, you name it. And then when it came to vaccine mandates, vaccine apps, all of it, the whole thing. They use a Chinese vaccine. And if you look at what they're doing now, they are looking to acquire digital ID in Iran. Okay, same as every other country. Okay, so the full agenda they're participating in. All right, there are other factors that you can look at if you go back in history and you look at the CIA's involvement in Iran. They have them right where they are, where they need them to be. And then if you go to look at 9/11 and everything that happened from there, that was their final placing of their chessboard pieces, and basically the removal of any country that was a problem, that didn't want to play their game. That was Saddam in Iraq, Gaddafi, Libya, possibly Syria, but essentially Afghanistan was one too, that did not have central banks. So everybody now looks at this central bank thing as the key indicator, and I think you've got to be careful with that. the reason I say you've got to be careful with that is these people are very deceptive. They might remove something and just call it something else. It's still the same thing. Okay? A lot of countries have done that recently, where they have removed a central bank and then replaced it with a different name, but operating exactly the same, creating fiat currency out of thin air, using fractional reserve banking to create the same perpetual debt system, just with a different name. So I won't say something unless I've done some actual analysis from research and have some actual backing. Otherwise, I'm not going to say something. But if you look into Iran, like I said, they've played the whole COVID scam all the way. And many of you guys know this, that the Rothschilds had the COVID patent. I think it was in the mid-90s. Now that's been removed from the internet. Hopefully people are saving things, because things are getting harder and harder to find. Alright, so don't get confused. I'm going to make a lot of videos going forward and try to assist with giving clarity. I'm seeing through the storm of confusion that they're creating. I follow this stuff closely. I know not everyone can or wants to, and that's cool. So I'm going to do my best to keep you guys updated. But that is the tactic, tire you out. Okay, I'm not going to get tired. I'm committed, and I will keep on top of things and try to provide that information, guys. And my goal, I've got to be clear on this as well. So, I'm encouraging people to follow the videos I'm making. But my goal, I don't sell t-shirts, guys, online. So I don't get followers to make money. I'm not getting followers to sell business opportunities, sell real estate, or any of that crap. My goal is pretty simple. It's to assist as many people as possible, our people, to make it through to the other side, to stay safe, to stay well, to stay healthy, and keep it together. That's my goal. In 2020, I saw a bigger picture, and my selfish or my self-focus is much less. When you look at things and you understand, I'll put another video on that together. It's about humanity. So yeah, follow the videos I'm making, guys, just for your information. And I'm not really going to respond to any trolling comments. All right. So, but if you got genuine questions, go ahead, or genuine debate. I have no problem with debate, because, like I said, I won't put something out there until I've done some actual investigation. And I'm all for debate. I'm all for changing minds, changing my own mind, where I can see some new information comes in. All right, guys. So on, off, on, off. It's really such a simple strategy, and a lot of people just haven't seen it. Okay, but you watch Iran and Israel situation, it's going to be back on. I can guarantee it. All right, guys. Take care out there. Stay well.